Happy coffee talk. It's Wednesday. It's so foggy out that even though the sun's come up, because I'm recording this a little later, it's 8 a.m. It is just gray. If you ever used to watch, I don't know, those vampire movies from back in the day, I was definitely into them. But Twilight, the whole Twilight series, it's very much Twilight-ish here in Washington today. My coffee is Black Rifle coffee in my Tree Star mug, which I love. It's funny, I was posting about coffee talk this morning on my Instagram story, and I was like, I wonder if people think that I talk about coffee, because I definitely don't. I mean, there's that moment at the beginning, but otherwise we're just talking. And I might have to clarify that for people so they don't think it is actually about coffee, because I like coffee, but I don't know as much about coffee. I certainly could not have a podcast on coffee. And so I wanted to talk about fear of follow through, because this has come up a couple of times lately on consult calls that I've been doing. And so whenever someone sets up a consult with me, this is what happens. So they would go to our website, fitmecommunity.com. They'd hit the apply for coaching button. They hit apply, and then it asks them 3 or 4 questions about their goals and what they're looking for and so on. And then they hit apply, and they get a link to my calendar. And then they schedule a time, and it's usually a 30-minute time block. And then I call you. So that's how it works. And then on that call, I ask a series of questions, because really what I'm doing on that call is I want to find out more about you and your goals and what it is that you're looking for, why it's hard, what you need to actually get there. I want to understand you. I want to understand what made you reach out, like why this moment, why right now. Did you go ahead and fill that out? What made you do that? What does success look like for you? So if we fast forward 6 months or a year and you're telling me everything is going awesome and these things are different, what's different? I want to understand what that is for you, because it's very different for everybody. And so I ask questions like that. I ask questions like, what are your obstacles of getting there on your own? Because I really want to understand what's challenging for you. I want to understand why now, why this moment, like, again, why did you reach out? And why does it matter to you? So we snap our fingers and you're there and you've accomplished the thing that you want. Like, who cares? Why does it matter? Or if you don't do it, you do nothing and nothing changes. Why does that matter? We fast forward a year and there's nothing different. Why does that matter to you? And so those are the kinds of questions that I ask. So it's pretty straightforward. Honestly, I don't do a lot of talking. I do a lot of listening. And then at the end of all of those questions, I usually have a good idea of whether or not the Fit Me coaching program can help. And so then I offer to explain it. And I always offer, because if somebody might not want to know. So I'm like, would it be okay if I explain to you how our program will work? Now, if I don't think that our program's a good fit, I just tell them that. I say, like, I understand what you're looking for and your goals, and here's what I think would be the best route for you. So let me link you up with so-and-so or point you in this right direction, because I think this will help. And so that's the 2 places that the call goes. And so then I explain the Fit Me program and exactly how we're going to help them get there. Because again, I wouldn't even be explaining it if I wasn't confident that that's exactly what we do with our coaching program. So I explain it. And then usually most people are like, yep, let's do it, because that's why they got on the call, is because they're ready to make change. But every once in a while, I get this one fear, and hopefully they tell me, and sometimes they do. But the fear is that if I spend the money and I don't follow through, then I'll be really disappointed with myself. And I'll have spent the money and wasted it, and I'll have failed at something. And this is a real deal fear. This is something that I think we've all experienced, where we want something, we want to do something about it, but then we have the fear of our own ability to actually do it or follow through or be successful. And so because that fear is there and we don't want to fail and we don't want to waste time or money, or we don't want to have that feeling of, I should have been able to be successful, but I wasn't, we don't do anything. We just don't take action because of that fear. And when I hear that from someone, and I've just told them basically how we're going to support them every step of the way, and they know they still are afraid they're not going to show up and do the work, they're not going to be successful, it typically is because they've had examples of that. They've had evidence in their life prior to that phone call of things like that. Maybe signing up for a template and then you try the template for a couple days and then it just feels unsustainable and then you quit. So you paid money, but then you quit. Maybe you signed up for a gym once and you had all of these hopes and goals around going to the gym and you went for a week or two and then you fell off and then you paid for that gym membership for 7 months, which annoyed you before you finally canceled it. And you were pissed off and frustrated that you signed up for a thing and you didn't do it. Maybe at your gym, they did a challenge and you signed up to participate, but after a weekend that kind of was sideways, you felt frustrated with yourself. You didn't get back on, so you quit. So you had paid the money and then you didn't follow through. Maybe you had made a commitment to your friends once that you were going to do something with them around nutrition or exercise. You got started, but then fell off. And so you have all of this evidence of falling off. And so you're using that evidence to reinforce the belief system that you can't be successful. And so one of my very first jobs as a coach and in, this interaction is to create a new belief system that you can be successful, because those examples are not necessarily reflective of what's possible. In fact, they have nothing to do with what's possible. Yes, they happened. We're not going to ignore them and say that they didn't. But on the other hand, you can do whatever you want to do from here on out. But in Fit Me, we kind of have a different strategy because I don't want you to have to go all in order to be successful. I would much prefer you to have a couple small little steps in the very beginning to start to build that self-confidence. Because when you're signing up with Fit Me and when you're going through this program, or if you're making any change for yourself, one of the very first things that has to happen is starting to build a new belief system that you can do it and that you can be successful. And again, it doesn't matter what it is. Like maybe you signed up for school 7 times and you quit each time, and now you're signing up for school for the 8th time. The school part isn't the part that's going to solve the problem. It's changing the belief system that you're actually going to follow through and be successful. And so one of the very first things that I do with people is start to work on that belief system and give them evidence of other places in their life where they have been successful and what were the strategies that they used. Because it wasn't a failure of a character trait. It was a lack of strategies and follow through and little wins that build confidence. And so there are other things in people's lives where they've been successful. And so we start to look at those and say, like, you're not a screw up there. You follow through, taking your kids to their pediatrician appointments. You follow through on getting your dog to the vet. You follow through on buying groceries every week. You got to feed people. You follow through on doing that. You follow through on getting your work performance review turned in on time. Like, you have follow through skill set. You are not broken. So we just need to apply some of those strategies to this, but we need to do it in really small baby steps because you have all of that history, because you have the fear of giving up on yourself and you have the fear of, that is just going to be another thing that you start and stop. Then we start small. And so as we rebuild your belief system and we start to build self-confidence around it, well, then all of a sudden that confidence translates into continual showing up. And when you continue to show up, now you are setting a new path. All of the things that happened before, again, they happened, but they don't have to have anything to do with what happens from here on out. You can change at any moment. You can decide that you are going to do things differently, that you are willing to have a different mindset around this, that you want to reframe how you think about taking care of yourself, and you want to show up no matter what. And so when that switch happens, well, then all of a sudden, all of the support and resources, then you could go back and you could have done any one of those things that you had signed up for before. And maybe they were great, or maybe they were medium, or maybe they were sucky, but any one of them, you could have been successful. You could literally be successful in anything you want to do once you change this belief system. Once you start to know that, again, using strategies that help you be successful in other parts of your life and shifting your mindset around, I hope that I can be able to do this, into I'm going to do it no matter what. Once you have changed that belief system, then all of a sudden you can do anything. And the key to doing anything is starting off with small bites and then continuing with small bites. That's the funny thing too. It's not like, oh, I'm going to take some small bites for the next couple of weeks and then all of a sudden I'm going to be ready to take gargantuan, huge bites, because that just doesn't always work very well. The people who are most successful in pretty much anything are taking small bites consistently over and over and over and over again. And so when I get on these consult calls and I hear this, I know that what needs to change isn't the program, because I know our program can solve that person's problem. I know that we can help them lose weight, to learn how to meal prep in a way that's not overwhelming. I know that we can help them move their body more and exercise and be connected with a supportive community of other people who are going to on a healthy lifestyle journey. Like, I am confident that we can provide all of that support. The part that I need from the person is this willingness to say, like, I might not be there yet, but I want to change this mindset around this. Because if you want to change it, well, then we can help with that. I will help you change that mindset. That part is easy. Not easy, but once you want to change it, once you recognize that that's the problem, well, then now all of a sudden we can do anything. And again, really, truly anything. It will be the last time you ever quit would be the one before you made this huge mindset shift. And this mindset shift, you deserve it. So let's also be clear. This belief system that if you sign up for something and you're going to pay the money, but you're not going to follow through and fail, that's a really negative belief system about yourself. You are basically saying you're not reliable and you don't know how to follow through. And I mean, those are not great things to feel about yourself. And so when we're shifting our belief system, we're also changing our self-confidence. We're changing our self-esteem. And you're darn right that impacts your body image. Hello. Those things go together. Those things go together. That self-confidence of I'm going to do this no matter what means that you're going to walk back into the gym, even though you don't know what to do or where to go. Even though you're uncertain about it, you can walk into the gym and you'll do it because you have that little bit of self-confidence. I'm going to do this no matter what. So I found this gym and I'm walking in because you've changed that mindset. Do you know what to do yet in there? No. Have you accumulated 100 workouts yet? No. Like, you're not there yet. But the part that's the most important is that you've decided that you're going to do this no matter what, and that you are worthy of doing it. You are worthy of the mindset shift. And when you make that shift, again, this is yours for the taking. No more letting a year pass by, not feeling good in your skin. No more feeling unhappy when you get dressed in the morning. No more feeling like your body is weak and you can't do it. No more of that, because you will have the ability to change it. Not because you've already done the work and you know everything under the sun and it's the perfect program. Not because of that, but because you changed your belief system around yourself. And so on that consult call, you know, when someone's like, this all sounds great. It's just, I'm afraid if I sign up, I won't follow through. That is immediately what we change right there. You are going to follow through. You can do this. Look at these examples in other places in your life. You do know how to do this, but we have to believe that in taking care of yourself, you are worthy of it and that you want to make this change. If you want to make this change, then you can do it. And you can, the thing is that like that self-doubt stays with you no matter what. So if you get off the call and you're like, I don't believe that I would follow through and do it, that same belief system is just going to stay put. But when someone's like, I'm not there yet, but I'm willing to take the step forward anyways, I have to change this belief system about myself and I need to do the thing. I have to follow through. Once that happens, well, then you're not by yourself anymore. You may not be there yet. You may not wake up in the next morning and be like, I can conquer the universe. You're probably not going to be there yet. The difference is that you're not going to be alone. You're going to have a coach. You're going to have a support system. You're going to have people that are helping you change that mindset and that are putting you on a path for what you want. So you either get to do it alone and stay stuck in that crap mindset, or you get to actively change it by surrounding yourself with people who are, one, changing it themselves, or two, have changed it before and are already there where you want to be. So then put yourself around those people and slowly that mindset will start to shift. So that's it. That's my coffee talk message for this morning. I wanted to share this because it's come up a couple of times on consults lately, and my heart just, really feels for that moment. But if that's you, if you're like, I would love to do this or I would love to do something, but I just am scared that I'm not going to follow through, then I hope that you heard this message and realized that the very first thing that needs to change is that belief system. That you can do this, you can follow through. And once you change that mindset and you realize that you do follow through in other places and you can follow through here, and that you are worthy of following through in this area, and that you're going to do it by taking very small, manageable steps with support, with people who have already made this mindset shift, who have already accomplished what you want to accomplish. You put yourself in that setting, and then all of a sudden you are on a completely new path. So that's it for Coffee Talk this morning. If you want to schedule a consult with me, I'm going to put the link in the show notes and the link in the bio. So if you want to schedule a consult, it will be exactly like I just shared with you. Schedule the call. I'm going to ask you lots of questions. We're going to talk. I'm going to give you my very best feedback of where you need to go to accomplish what you want. And if you're having some of those limiting beliefs and some of that mindset stuff, we can talk about it on there. And we'll make a plan for you so that this is the season where you make that shift. So I'll put the link again in the show notes, a link in the comments. If you want to schedule a consult, do that. I'm here for you. And I want to see you get into a place where you are not stuck. So thanks for plugging into Coffee Talk. If you haven't done so, subscribe to Fit Me Coffee Talk on your favorite podcast platform. And if you're not a part of our Facebook group yet, go on over to Facebook and search Fit Me Community, request to join the group. We are going to be having free activities all next year, fun ways for you to feel better, to move your body more, to eat healthier, to feel like you're making progress, all for free in that Facebook group, and you can be a part of it. And if you want to be a leader as a part of those free activities, I am going to be training my next round of Fit Me community leaders later in January. And so be sure to reach out so I can get you plugged into that training program. Again, you can 1000% be on your own journey, but if you take a lot of enjoyment out of helping other people and you know that you're going to be more accountable and show up for yourself when you're tied to helping other people, then let's talk about getting you certified as a Fit Me community leader. So look forward to seeing you guys there. Talk to you later. Bye.